Ready to call. Also, we're live.
Oh, is that what that little noise just happened was?
Hey, Sean, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you hold Periscope for this interview?
I'm getting tired. Alright, what's the number?
At the back of the hose.
Where do you want me to hold it?
It doesn't matter. Whatever.
Just kind of follow whoever's talking.
Okay. I gotcha.
615-483-9743.
Is it already recording?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like you've given me a different number every time.
Hello.
Hey, Griffin, how's it going?
Not bad.
Good. Good.
As you can tell via my activity on Twitter, I am on my computer.
That's exactly why we called you, actually.
I even said, I was like, oh, Griffin just tweeted at me. I assume he's at his computer now. Also, yes, I completely agree with the Dion Waiters comment. I was reading a thing on Reddit about that same topic, and someone with the username Dion Waiters said, I don't know what you're talking about, and people under that were like, this is acceptable. So, alright, you wanna start it off, Kevin?
I will get this started.
Alright, cool.
Hold on, should I put this up here?
Let me put it down, I don't trust you.
That was a noise.
What are you?
There's just a lot of buttons that Tim might hit.
Are you watching porn again?
No.
I like to put on porn videos on my iPad and face it towards them while they're talking during our podcast, so that's why.
And
Get off the game a little bit.
for whatever reason, we never really acknowledge it after the show. We laugh about it for a second, then we go.
Did we laugh about it?
We did last time.
Did we?
Yeah, we were. You weren't. Kevin's too serious.
All right. Well, Kevin,
You know something I noticed on Periscope? Each one of you individually, every single time, makes a remark about being hungover, but no one ever acknowledges the other person saying that they're hungover.
That's awesome.
I don't think any of us are hungover today.
I'm a little hungover today.
No.
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel great.
See,
We're
we're not allowed to acknowledge it. Damn it.
All right. Anyway.
All right, ready?
Yep.
All right, we're recording.
3, 2, 1. And we are joined on the line now by our blog editor, Griffin Connolly. Griffin's piece this week is called The Unclutch Gene, Demystifying Modern Clutchness by the Numbers. Griffin, what's going on, man?
Not much. Doing well.
So I guess this is just an incredibly in-depth piece. There's all sorts of statistics broken down, even using the scientific method, and we're going to get into all that in a little bit. But I guess we're gonna get it with a little warm-up question. And I guess in all your studying of which players were the clutchest in the NBA, what was the biggest surprise to you?
The big surprise to me was Chauncey Billups. His name is Mr. Big Shot. And I sort of expected, I expected everyone's numbers, under a minute in close games to be kind of low. But I was sort of expecting people who had nicknames like Mr. Big Shot or The Answer to be good in, like under 10 seconds, so like last second shots. But, I mean, Chauncey didn't excel in any single category that I, dug into. So, that was the most surprising one to me.
And I feel like even LeBron James didn't have that many good numbers in that category either.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing with shots under 10 seconds. They tend to be isolation plays
Right.
that you watch. And that's just, LeBron's, maybe his isolation numbers in the flow of the game are pretty good. But I think when defenses are keying on him and they know he's not going to pass, he's not as good at and they're not, sagging off his teammates. I just don't think he's necessarily the best one-on-one scorer. So it's sort of to be expected.
Well, and I think you pointed this out too. It's a lot of those last 10-second shots could also be like, half-court heaves or just like, a throw, just a desperate put the ball up there type thing.
Yeah. Like Pau Gasol shot 7 shots in the final 10 seconds to take the lead or tied from three-point land. Like that's just, there's no way that the play was drawn up for that. So
I don't know, man. Paul Gasol from 3 with 10 seconds left is kind of what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
All right, Griffin, well, let's break down your post just a little bit. And I got to tell you, so far, this is hands down my favorite one that you've written. Your hypothesis for this, because you broke it down into the scientific method, which I thought was fantastic, by the way. Your hypothesis is clutchness is just an absence of unclutchness.
Yeah, so that sort of arose. So I have a couple friends in college who are big baseball fans, and they haven't really hopped on board with the whole sabermetric movement in baseball, which I think is kind of silly. I think my personal opinion is that baseball is all stats and probability. and that sort of made it unwatchable for me.
I completely agree with you. Actually, Kevin and I have had that conversation between ourselves many times.
Yeah, I mean, once I sort of tuned into that, it sort of made baseball not as fun to watch for me. But you know, they always pointed to stats like, oh, he hit 350 or 375 when there's a runner in scoring position. And I said, well, that's not necessarily because he's clutch. That's because the pitcher has to hold these guys on base. He's not necessarily focusing on the pitch. I don't think it's because the hitters are clutch. I think it's, you know, based on other factors. So my theory going into this whole analysis was that clutchness is the absence of unclutchness, meaning that clutchness is the ability to keep one's cool, whereas everybody else, or the majority of other people, sort of, you know, get tense in pressurized moments. So the ability to keep your cool elevates your game comparatively, but maybe not, you know, better than you would play during the normal flow of the game.
Okay, so if your hypothesis was clutchness is just an absence of clutchness, were you able to accept or reject the null hypothesis?
You're going to have to define the null. Is the null... Sorry, you may have to ask that again. What's the null hypothesis?
Well, I guess the null hypothesis, and that could be clutchness isn't just an absence of unclutchness.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm not ready to accept clutchness as, you know, someone elevating their game, someone elevating this game. No, I don't accept that. But I also don't accept my original hypothesis either, necessarily.
Okay, so it sounds like you were able to at least partially accept the null hypothesis on that.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, and how much data was used to draw the conclusion, and what was the margin for error?
So I went to Basketball Reference and I used Excel sheets, and so they only had stats for people by the season. So I had to plug everyone's numbers for each category into an Excel sheet and then sum up the totals for the shooting and then take the averages of that for every single person for every single stat. So it took a damn long time. I mean, I hesitated to say the actual number because people who are good with stats and aggregating them might make fun of me because there's probably a better way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it was pretty fun to do it. You know, while I was discovering new things that I didn't know that wasn't really public knowledge. I feel like not many people come out with stats like these is comprehensive, in my opinion. So.
Oh, Basketball Reference is
cool.
Basketball Reference is just phenomenal. My next question for you, because you approach this from the scientific method approach, is, you know, your hypothesis or anybody's hypothesis is great, but a lot of the times you really have to define what something is. So I was wondering what your operational definition of clutch was for your hypothesis.
Yeah, you know, I said on Twitter to a couple people that commented, that was the hardest part of this whole thing. Like any chump can aggregate stats on Excel sheets. Just depends on if you're nerdy enough to have the time to do it. And really defining clutchness was the hardest part. You know, I had someone say that it's being able to pull through in the final 2 minutes. I had someone say it's, you know, making the biggest shot in the biggest game. And you know, those situations vary in sample size. I mean, I did playoff shots. To tie or take the lead under 24 seconds, and I think the person with the most field goal attempts was Kobe with 24. So, I mean, you really can't take much, you know, you got to take whatever the field goal percentage is in those situations with a grain of salt.
Right. And so I guess another thing that I noticed from it is you were looking for the player who was the least clutch, but in the end, in doing that, you also had to find who was the most clutch. And, you know, what I got from it is that's Ray Allen. Do you think there's anybody else that might, you know, be up there with him?
Yeah, I think Robert Horry really lived up to his billing.
Okay.
He shot 42.9% from three in his career. Another thing to point out is the Basketball Reference stats only go back to 2000, 2001, and I think Robert Horry was a rookie in 93, 94. Okay. So it really only encapsulates about half of his career. But in that portion of his career, he shot 42.9% from three with under 2 minutes to go, with the game within 5. Mm-hmm. And for his career, he shot something like 34%. So he increased his 3-point percentage 8%, which goes directly against my original hypothesis. So I think Robert Horry is definitely up there, someone who elevates his game. And then Brandon Roy. If I'm choosing someone to isolate, I might go with Brandon Roy. If I'm drawing up a play, I'll probably go with Ray Allen. But Brandon Roy definitely excelled in all these situations.
And you had said in your piece too that Ray Allen's a man having shot 40% on threes, but you also say that Vince Carter is close behind. But a question I had for you, because I was looking at the information that you provided, was that Vince Carter actually shot a little bit. Well, he shot the same percentage, but he had a little bit larger of a sample size. And I'm wondering why you still place Vince Carter behind Ray Allen if you're just looking at the pure numbers.
Probably just personal bias, for being honest. You know, that everyone always points to Ray Allen as a clutch player now because of one shot.
It might be the most famous shot in all of the NBA ever.
Right, exactly. So, you know, he gets his, you know, the moniker being clutch from that shot. But if you look at his whole body of work, he expanded out, it still, you know, validates that label. And a lot of other players, it doesn't, you know. So.
And I also noticed that Anthony Davis was at the top of a lot of those lists, and if I remember correctly, all of them. But I didn't read you mentioning him a whole bunch. I was wondering why that is.
Yeah. So, well, I should have mentioned him more, especially early on and a little bit continuously. But I did. I don't know if you missed it. I said the Our Father, who was Anthony Davis's name, and some other basketball jargon thrown in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah, Anthony Davis. The jury's still out on whether he's I don't really believe in clutchness, but the jury's still out on whether he's a clutch player. Sample size is small, but so far so good, and so far so great. Yeah.
And I also noticed that you don't seem to be a big fan of Hamid Haddadi. And I guess I just don't really understand.
He's a former random NBA player of the week.
Yeah, he is a former random NBA player of the week, but you didn't really speak with him in high regards.
Well, no, it wasn't really more a shot at him. In fact, I sort of meant to take a shot more at Lionel Hollins, who had Hamid Haddadi in the game in 2012-13 with under 10 seconds to go. I mean, maybe, you know, Marc Gasol fouled out or something, but what is Hamid Haddadi even doing in that game to begin with? For those who haven't read it, he shot a shot in the final 10 seconds to tie or take the lead, and he missed it because he's Hamid Haddadi, and maybe it was a putback or something. But I just thought that was a funny little thing as I was going through the data.
Right, and so you also had a little bit of findings on Michael Kidd Gilchrist. I guess, do you want to point out a little bit about those?
Yeah, so I looked into, and there's actually another chart that I didn't put in the piece. I might put that in a piece later. So when I was researching that, I uncovered that Michael Kidd Gilchrist played 58 minutes this past season with where the score was within 5, under 5 minutes to go in the game, and he shot one shot in 58 minutes. One shot. So that's either his confidence, his own personal confidence, or his teammates not having confidence in him. But something, I mean, if you shoot one shot in 58 minutes, that's insane. So I just thought that was interesting, a little funny tidbit.
And I guess also Tim had pointed out to us that you're a Nick Johnson fan.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, he did stiff, or the Rockets stiffed Steph Curry. You know, I don't know if you guys saw that. A lot of people thought for the Rockets Warriors series that James Harden was going to go out and meet Steph Curry like superstars always do before series begin. Mm-hmm. But the Rockets instead sent out Nick Johnson to go shake hands with Steph Curry. And Steph Curry, it's about the maddest I've ever seen him because, you know, he keeps his cool so well. He just walks away and he shakes his head and he looks back at the Rockets bench. And, I mean, you sort of knew from there how that series was going to go.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. I think the other time I saw him mad was during the finals with the Cavs. I think there was one other point where he made pretty much a stink face when, you know, everybody had pretty much written him off.
It's probably Game 4 when they were going to Del Vadovo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a guy, speaking of Steph Curry, who doesn't actually, it was probably one of the most surprising ones, doesn't rank well in many of these categories.
Well, the other thing, and maybe this is just us, because we brought this up a few times, the other thing is Steph Curry really hasn't had to worry about too many, close games from my understanding, because they always won by a pretty fair margin, or, you know, by the last 2 minutes of the fourth, it was, you know, to be fair, pretty much over at that point for the Warriors. Right. They had already won. So that could be something also that's filtered into that.
Yeah, I figure it's more of a result. I mean, I have it in this chart that I didn't post. I'll post it probably later this week.
Okay.
He shot something like 22% from the field with under 5 minutes to go, game within 5. My guess is that they had the lead in a lot of those situations, and they just sort of had him run the clock out and,
Right.
heave an isolation jump shot, which are hard to make. So that probably lowered the stats a little bit.
So I have one final question. This was one of the funnier parts of the article to me, is that Royal Ivy has the nickname of Cheese, which I didn't know was a thing. And so I guess that leads my question to be, what is your favorite NBA nickname?
Oh, man. Favorite NBA nickname? Wow.
I'm a pretty big fan of the Feranimal. Fareed?
What about Murray Spates Mole? I mean, that's not really a nickname, but I feel like that could be.
I don't know, man. I like Fareed's nickname a whole lot.
Man, it's escaping me. I guess my favorite historic one is, it's got to be the round mound of rebound for Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
The Slim Reaper's pretty good.
Slim Reaper is good.
Durant doesn't like that one, though. He said he doesn't want people to call him that.
Why?
Because he doesn't like it. I don't know.
He's trying to put on the I'm a nice guy thing, which I think we all know by now Durant's not a nice guy.
The Slim Angel? We could nickname him the Slim Angel. Also, is Cheese a good nickname? Like, is that a good thing to have?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't want. I mean, would you want to be called Cheese?
No, because I mean, cheese smells bad. So like,
But you also could stack that cheese.
Oh, you could talk about all right. I don't know. That's debatable whether or not that one's a good one.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just a funny little thing I saw. So.
Okay, well, before we get you out of here, you did add one thing to the blog that you haven't done before, and that was a comment section. And honestly, I have no idea how you did that, but that's pretty awesome. So if people go to driveandishpodcast.com and they click on the blog link, they can go ahead and read your blog, and then they can leave you a comment in there. Are you scared of the internet trolls?
No, bring on the haters. I'll fire back.
Well, good luck with that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Griffin. We really appreciate it. Again, the blog is at driveanddishpodcast.com.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Cool. Thanks so much, dude.
All right, bye-bye.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Griffin.
He's done.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's
he's
Glad
not
to
done.
see.
Yeah, we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, man.
All right. Have a good one.
All right, bye.
I feel like that was a little bit awkward. Hans, I can hope you can take out some of that.
3, 2, 1.
I can just. There's just some pauses where we're gathering ourselves.
Yeah, and we're all just like, none of us had answers, or he didn't have an answer.
driveandishpodcast.com.
I thought my questions were really good.
Thanks so much.
What's
Yeah,
that?
when he can't understand what the fuck you're saying.
Yeah, I'll take that part out.
But that was,
Cool,
that
thanks
was
so
such a
much.
good question.
When I
so
saw
hyped about
all
it.
your questions loaded up, I'm like, oh, you're such a troll right
I
now.
love it. You are. You're just straight trolling.
How
so
was
hard.
that
That was
trolling?
the definition of trolling.
How was that trolling?
You asked like it was a fucking chemistry exam.
Well, he put up a blog post about the scientific
don't answer.
method.
Don't. It's like me coming up and being like, "Can you give me the hustle stats for Jakar Sampson on the game against the Warriors on March 30th, while also putting his PER over 30?" Like what?
His
How was he gonna answer
his
that?
hypothesis was clutchness is just an absence of unclutchness. So, were you able to accept or reject the null hypothesis? That's valid.
What the fuck is the null hypothesis?
Exactly. The
So,
null hypothesis
wait.
is the opposite of the
Because
hypothesis,
no one says
essentially.
Wait.
that.
Yeah, they do if you're writing out a scientific method.
This isn't science, though.
But he wrote out the scientific method.
But it's not actually science.
We need to go record. I have to go to a wedding soon.
Yeah, well, we have to call this guy in 20 minutes.
I know, so let's
How
get
do you-
20 minutes in
Do you want to do it from here? Or do you want to walk over there?
over there. Because
Okay.
it sounds better over there.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, I mean, yeah, we might as well record the intro, and that's probably going to be all we have time for, because I got to go cover Fine
Yeah.
Lonzy.
He's
so.
gotta go. Sorry, that post I thought was about Lonzy. That's why I brought it up.
Oh, yeah. you
That's why I
scared
was like,
the
oh,
shit
shit.
out of me. That's why I was like...
I know. Well, that's why I was like, Kevin might need to go
no,
now.
Yeah, no, I was going to be pissed, because I was going to have to break in on air. I don't want to do that shit.
Yeah, that's what I thought was gonna happen.
Why, thank you, Sean.
Yes, thank you for.
I bet everyone, you should turn that around on your beautiful face. That way everyone can see you. I bet they're equally
Are they
as
commenting
interested.
at all?
Yeah,
Were they commenting mean things?
I saw a number of comments, but I didn't think any of them were all that mean.
Okay. Sometimes Periscope people are mean.
You're like the one that
Well,
said
there was
that
one
out
person
loud.
that saw you picking something off your elbow.
Yeah, that happens. It was a rough night. Got cut on my elbow. Oh, man.
As long as they can survive with how shaky my hands tend to be.
That's alright.
I really like their last.
Sometimes reading the Periscope comments while it's going on is actually hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
listened to it. I listened to it, yeah.
I
But-
really liked it.
Like
Yeah,
what?
we had a lot of good questions. So we probably can put mailbag on this one. I think we only have 3 questions this
Well,
week.
we got
so-
how many? I know we got 2 or 3 on Twitter.
We had 2. I think we had 2 on
And
Twitter.
one long one on
Facebook.
Facebook. Or is there 2 on Facebook? I know there was
Yeah,
one.
it's 'cause I
Facebook.
posted
I'll
it
take
on
a look.
Friday.
I didn't check again this morning. But
You gotta post on. Hey, Papa Squat. I think Justin
Okay.
has a.
No,
selfie
I
done.
don't know where it is. I can't find it.
That's a really big deal.
Yeah, I know. Actually, it's sad.
We need a selfie stick.
Dude, we need to go invest in one.
Yeah, we do.
The Driving Dish Podcast
Gonna have
selfie
to
stick.
get our own.
dude,
Let's hit up selfie sticks and be like, yo.
We'll play a commercial for you.
Give us a free- We're all about playing something well, so we can get something for free.
yeah, dude, I will gladly plug services for free things.
Yeah,
It's the beauty of podcasting. There's no such thing as payola.
exactly. That is actually true. I had to sign that recently.
Yeah, you
Just
can.
recently?
Yeah, well, I signed it and had to re-up it.
I never had to re-up it. How come you had to
Really?
re-up it?
Really? I think it goes...
Maybe it may be different. Maybe it's more intense for music because there's
Yeah,
ads
it's
all the
possible.
time.
I don't know. They told me I can't. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I haven't re-upped it either.
Are they leaving now? To see Mickey Mouse? They're going without me?
You know what we can record too, Kevin, is that we have to do this driving kick promo thing. I read it last time, so I have it
Oh.
just
Yeah.
for you to read.
Yeah.
So you could actually probably record that.
Do you want me to record it now?
I mean, if whatever you think's easier, but we could get that out of the way. I know we could do
It's
that.
honestly easier if we just have it where it's supposed to be in
where
the
it's
episode.
supposed to be.
All right, that's fine. Let's
So-
just do the intro.
And if Kevin's not here
Yeah.
for it, I'll just do it or something like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because the intro, we'll do the intro. That'll
well,
get
no,
it,
Kevin,
that'll-
because Kevin will be coming back. So
Yeah, no, I'll be back.
Oh,
the,
okay.
only, the only thing I'm anticipating you guys doing
Missing the
without
interview.
me is
Is the interview?
Yeah.
And then when you guys do the interview, I'll have to come back in. We'll bang out the. Well, no, we don't need to bang out the intro. Or we did do the intro already for it, so we'll just come back, bang out a closer for that midweek.
Mm-hmm.
We'll do the intro for the main episode, and then we'll just record the main episode.
Okay.
I
So let's do the
listen to
so
any of
intro
that,
for
but okay.
wearing a name tag at the bar, which I gotta tell you, I actually picked up some name tags yesterday.
Okay, no,
for us
wait,
to
wait,
wear.
wait. So,
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Kevin, mic check.
All right.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
man, I don't know.
Mic check.
Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2.
All right, you need to be louder. Do it again.
Mic check 1 2. Mic
Okay.
check 1 2.
All right, we're good. I'm just perfect. I already know I am. Also, what did you think about the midweek sounding compared to the weekend? Because I put normalizer on us.
Oh yeah. I mean, as far as the levels, my audio was still much lower than Kevin's, like noticeably.
On the midweek.
On the Friday, the one we just put up.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, it's fine. It's
Okay.
whatever.
Well, and I was noticing me and Kevin were clipping almost, so I had to bring us down. a
But
little bit.
news was the same as the rest of the episode, and that
That's
was
what.
like,
That's the normalizing
yeah.
thing I
on
threw
our
in.
100th episode, it was like I kept having to turn up, turn
Yeah.
down, turn up, turn down.
And
it was
that's
like,
because-
annoying shit out of me.
Because that's what happens when we don't put the thing on it. Because then it doesn't level it. We're nerd talking right now.
103.
All right, ready?
3, 2, 1. So I come in to record this podcast today, and Tim has that look on his face, and he already has some trick that he wants to do when we go out to the bar tonight.
I get-
I'm already terrified.
I'm so excited.
When you
about
have
this.
that face when I walk in, I'm like, oh God, here we go, another embarrassing night for us.
I'm so excited about this, and I just want to say Gene Wexler, who I think has been a voice on the show at some point in the past, also really loves this idea. So
Hey, he's the only one. I walked into the room and you brought this up, and 3 other people were like, we had already said no.
Gene's probably just like, yeah!
That's exactly how it was. So I walked into the break room yesterday, and I noticed a pile of name tags. They're the stick-on name tags, so you can just write your name, and it says, "Hi, my name is." And I think wearing name tags at the bar is fantastic. For one, they already know your name, So it's easy enough to say, hey, Tim, or whatever it might be. For 2, if they're asking why you have a name tag on, it's an instant conversation starter.
Also, it kind of puts the ball in their court where you don't have to come to them. They come to you now. You've
Right.
already gotten that first part out. I do agree with that.
Yes, it's beautiful. You
But no.
you've
But
already
no.
greeted.
No.
The only thing I'm afraid of is that it backfires, and they're like, "Well, what does he have a name tag on? Does he think he's the most important person here?"
What is he in,
Well,
like,
no. Did you just come from a conference? That's what Annalise mentioned. Fine. If they think we just came from a conference, there's a conversation starter.
But what if they
Bam.
think you just came from, like, AA and they see you at a bar and then
How
they're
many
Why
like,
would we
people
be
do-
coming from AA
Yeah.
to the bar?
I don't know, but
Who would
I feel
think
like
that?
the first place I think of when people wear name tags is from, like, an AA meeting.
Have you ever
like,
been to AA?
I have not.
They don't wear name tags.
Okay.
It's literally anonymous.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Never mind.
And Gene was talking about how much friendlier of a world it would be if everyone wore name tags all the time. You bump into somebody in the street and say, "Oh, excuse me, Justin.
Okay, but
My
but
bad."
Counter argument to that: do you say that to the people at grocery stores? They wear name tags. Do you say, "Oh, thank you for checking me out, Tammy"?
Well,
I
wouldn't-
do. Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah,
I feel like
absolutely.
it's.
All the
I
time.
feel like it's almost conceited. When I worked at a grocery store and I would check someone out and they'd be like, "Thank you, Justin," I'd be like, "Keep my name out your mouth. Like, don't talk to me."
Well,
like
why
that."
are you oddly offended?
Because I don't want people using my name.
I feel like that's just showing them like you're connecting with them.
But they weren't. I was giving you your food. Don't say my name.
Okay.
You don't know me like that.
Well, Justin doesn't think this is a good idea. Kevin, are you in to wear a name tag with me tonight at the bar?
I mean,
And then we'll report on the findings on next week's episode.
it depends how the pregame goes.
The other thing is I'm gonna be in a button up and a tie and then
All
with
the
that
more
on,
reason to be wearing a name tag.
Then you actually look like you'll
You
come from
came
a
from a
conference.
conference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then you just look like you're more important than you really are.
Which is, I mean, any more important. I'm not important at all. Is
Right.
what I'm getting at.
So, no, it's a great thing. Also, regarding names, and I do want to say that the summer's coming up and that Justin's going to be gone for a few episodes.
Well, hang on. Summer's coming up.
Well, okay.
It's August.
Correct. The NBA dead season is coming up where there's like nothing going on. Justin's going to be mentioning a few episodes, and I have to mention this because it kind of made me angry. Kevin and I were talking about while Justin's gone, this gives us a really good opportunity to just talk about some non-NBA things on the podcast,
Yeah.
right? I'm sitting there and I'm listening to the starters this morning. All summer long, they're doing episodes that have nothing to do with basketball. So I want to say to anybody listening, Kevin and I had this idea a couple of weeks ago. We aren't stealing it from the starters. This was already us.
Well, it's going to be.
stealing it from the starter.
No, we.
To be fair, it's not going to be totally about other things.
No,
we'll just
well,
maybe
so-
have like a segment on something that's not basketball
Right.
related.
But we had this idea first. So if you hear us doing it and then you hear it on the starters, damn it, we had it first. But bringing it back to the original point.
You should totally tweet the starters and tell them that they're stealing our idea.
Well, the problem is they did it like an episode before we were going to start doing this. So anyway, they
So
did
we did steal it.
a Would You Rather episode. And one of the questions that they did regarding names was, would you rather have to go your whole life talking in the third person or go your whole life without ever being able to say somebody else's name? Or
I don't say-
anybody else's
Okay,
name.
okay, and well, we shouldn't really talk about this because now we're copying the stars, literally.
Well, whatever. We all listen to stars. We know how it is.
Fair. The thing is, like, when I meet people, I'm so excited to tell them my name that I forget and don't listen to what their name is. So literally, they could be like, "Hi, my name's Tim," and I'll be like, "Oh, my name's Justin." After that, I don't know your name. I do not know your name because I didn't listen to a word you just told me.
I just did that to Sean, the man behind the Periscope camera
Yeah,
right now.
see?
Yeah, you just.
You
I don't.
called him Steve.
Starts with an S.
You had that part
Oh,
right.
you said Stefan,
Oh, yeah, you said Stephen.
but you still won't say Stephen Curry.
But you aren't answering the question. Would you rather talk in third person your entire life or never be able to call anybody by their name?
Being referred to yourself in the third person is so freaking conceited.
Everyone would hate me if I talked to myself in the third person. So probably the latter.
Right, but what if you had to make plans? What if, let's say, somebody said, who's coming out tonight? And you could say, Tall
Dude
dude.
1, dude 2, dude 3, check 1.
Dude 1, Dude 2, Dude 3, and Justin.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there'd be ways around that, though. There's other things you can
Well,
call.
sure,
you
you
call people nicknames, for example.
well, a nickname's still a name. I'm not sure you could do that.
Well, we didn't say that.
But if by definition of name, name's a nickname, then...
But what about, like, Paul Pierce's nickname is The Truth, and that has nothing to do
Yeah, it
with
would
his
make doing a
actual name.
podcast really hard because you couldn't mention any of the players. You could just vaguely
Right.
talk about them like some ESPN does.
Right, what if you're meeting your lady's parents for the first time?
I mean, I didn't.
But you can't.
You don't refer to that. I say Mr. and Mrs. whatever the last name is.
Well, that's a name.
Until they tell me that's a last name.
It's still a name.
We'd have to figure it out what considers name.
Well, I hope
that you
whoever
can't
I was
say.
being introduced to would like give them a warning.
Hey,
Something
he
like
can't say
that.
this, and that's a good conversation starter. Why can't you say names?
I just feel like there's more downfalls to not being able to use people's names than you would think. Like that
But,
would
like,
be a pain.
Could you imagine being on a
The
date
third
just being like,
person.
Justin would love some spaghetti.
Everyone
Like,
would
Justin
hate
would
you.
love some
You
spaghetti
get a
right
dirty
now.
look from anyone in the service industry, for just anyone in general. You can't do that.
What can I get you? Justin would love rum and coke.
Right. Know what you can do? Listen to this podcast. This is the Drive and Dish NBA podcast. My name is Kevin Rafuse. Joining me to my left, my co-host Tim Tompkins.
So I was talking to my ball this weekend, and she threw out the term, and she was talking in the third person, sort of. She said, "My mother says you have a 3, 2, 1." She said, "My mother's 3, 2, 1." She said, "My mother said your boyfriend has a really nice voice." I ain't your boyfriend.
And behind the boards, keeping us honest as always, our producer Justin Kuzart.
I still have to show you how to do that, by the way.
Yeah, I totally suck at this. Hold on. We got a good one. None of these are players.
They should be under a players tab.
No, and I don't know where it went. Because I had it, right?
Yeah.
It's not there anymore.
Well, you can go to mine, and then you
Guys, I
can go
gotta
to...
cover this press conference in like 8
I
minutes.
know.
Just fucking read a tweet.
I know I don't see any good ones. Hold on.
Read a shitty one then.
Alright. No, this will be topical. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Game time. Hashtag BWB Africa. Hashtag NBA Africa game. Picture of a jersey.
Serge Ibaka.
No.
Damn. Nicholas Batum.
No.
I can see.
Chris Paul.
I
Kevin
can't
can
answer
see it,
this.
so
I
he
can see
can't
a
guess.
jersey.
Tim, one more. It's topical for who we're talking to later.
I know. I was just about to say
Yeah.
that. Nikolai Vucevic.
Yes. Yeah, he played in the Africa games. I guess for us it's a few hours ago, but
Yeah.
for the episode a few days ago.
And Team World won. I'll be damned. It was that Africa game, I guess we'll talk about in a little bit, but it was very reminiscent of an all-star game, that being no defense.
That's
Definitely.
the best kind of game.
But hey, we did get a review this week. Somebody pull it up. I can't get it from Australia on my phone.
Oh,
That's why we needed to...
I know, I forgot to grab it off
I
the
mentioned
computer.
it before.
Hold on one second, I can go grab it real quick.
All right, why don't we just stop it here because it's 53 and I gotta go find Lonzy.
That's fine.
Well, I
Good
can...
luck.
I'll read this part then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't pull it up on there, can you?
No.
Alright, hold on one second.
I would say yeah, because if you read the review and then just toss it to news, and then you guys don't have to interview. It's 11:53.
That's
And
fine.
Sean will be kicking it with us.
Yeah.
Word.
How's Periscope doing? Are they still commenting?
No, down to 3 viewers.
Well, no, there's more than that. They just said that it's not listening to online ones. Everybody, this is Sean.
Oh, what's up? I'm not normally in front of a camera person, so what's up?
What are you doing here, Sean?
Visiting Rafuse. Just down here from Philly.
Oh, okay. So you are an old friend of Kevin.
Yes, we met in 5th grade.
Please give me some the listeners some dirt on Kevin that maybe they don't know about him.
Ah, shit.
Something people wouldn't normally guess, and also make it super embarrassing.
See, I know a lot, but now that I'm put on the spot, I just can't think of anything. Ooh. See, there's not much that can be said.
Did
bad
Kevin
about
did
him.
Kevin play with toys for an extended period of time?
No. By the time I knew him, we were kind of beyond the toy age.
Hmm.
But, I mean, kid's an Eagle Scout. He's, like, basically Dean's List student as far as I know, so, I mean, pretty much straight up guy. Anything that's bad about him has not been photographed or filmed through the years.
That's not true. I have. We did something called the Justin Challenge for a
Okay.
little while, where we took a really awful picture of Justin and we all spread it around the internet. And everybody was using it as their cover photo on their phone. And I have a picture that I got from the internet of Kevin that I've been waiting to use as the Kevin Challenge.
Ooh.
So it's in my back pocket. Kevin doesn't know about this.
Ooh, what picture is this?
I'll have to show you when it's all said and done.
Okay.
Maybe we can start it on your phone.
Possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people.
Yeah. Start the Kevin challenge off on Sean's phone. So, what do you think about the wearing name tags at a bar thing?
I don't know. It's a good conversation starter, but it could also attract people to you that you didn't want them to be up in your face to begin with. Like, it makes shy people a little less shy, but it'll make, I guess, extroverted people aggressively so.
But wouldn't the world be a much friendlier place if everybody wore a name tag?
Possibly.
We're talking about the name tag thing and how much friendlier of a place the world would be if everyone wore name tags.
No. Like what if you had it like stitched into your skin, like so when you're at the beach it's still there, like always.
You could get a tattoo of a name tag.
Yeah, but see, I work retail, so I wear a name tag. People don't give a damn what my name is.
See?
Right, but we aren't working retail. We're at the bar.
What's the
Kind
difference?
of working retail.
Oh.
Okay.
You're still dealing with the public. They probably don't give a shit what your name is. whether
Public
it's
does
in the
not
day or
care.
night.
Publix? Did you just say Publix does not care?
The public does not care.
Oh.
I'm called Tourette's Kid in one of our posts.
Oh. What?
In one of our bad reviews, they called me the Tourette's Kid. Because I say and I stutter.
When did we get...
It was like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, that one douchey one?
What's that?
That one douchey one we got?
That's fine. Game time.
And then we gave his website a plug?
The best way to fight hate is by love.
Yeah.
I bet that pissed him off, though.
I don't know. I think he kind of liked it because it gave him a plug.
He should have tweeted us and been like, even though I gave you a shitty review, thank you for the plug.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever, man. It's cool.
Like, the dude took the time to listen and then write a review that he didn't like it.
Did he, though? If he really listened, he wouldn't have been that mean.
About the Giggle Fest?
About the Giggle Fest. We do that for, like, the first 5 minutes. That's what we should call it, the first Giggle Fest. The Giggle Fest warm-up. We do it more for a warm-up. Like, get a vocal cords going. We're all excited. That's what I tell people when they ask me. We do it mainly because that's what the fuck we do.
Do people ask you
It's a
about the
good
Giggle
excuse to
Fest?
tell people.
Isn't it? It's a great excuse. Wow, this is gonna be hard
So
to read.
we gotta do this.
Yeah, we need to read this review.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna totally butcher the shit out of this.
You want me to read it?
That's fine. Let
right.
Tourette's Kid figure
Well,
it out.
let me toss it to you. Are we recording?
Kevin already did. Look. It's kind of game.
Hey, we did get a review this week.
Yes, from Fluffy Soft Ninja.
An Aussie review.
Yes. Do you want to say that and then I'll go? Alright. 3, 2, 1. Yes, this time it's from 3, 2, 1. This time it's from a listener in Australia. It's titled, "This is How It Should Be Done." 5-star. It's by Fluffy Sock Ninja.
Who also has that same name on Twitter, but a different name on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
You can't trust a guy with 2 personalities.
Right?
No, I'm kidding.
Very Dexter.
As an avid NBA fan, I am on a consistent hunt for new NBA-related news, and earlier this year, I happened to stumble upon this fantastic podcast. The show is always fun and informative, and makes you wish you were sitting there with them eating a plate of nachos while watching the game. I mean, I wish there were nachos here, too. You guys are unquestionably good mates and have a passion for the NBA, and that shines through on the show. I also really appreciate how you are available on social media to discuss the NBA and take mailbag questions. I hope the show continues for many years, and you 3 go on to reach new heights of success in the future. Keep up the fantastic work, and don't forget us little people when you are hired by ESPN, Winky Face.
Well, that was very nice of Keith. I guess I'll start it off there. But we also appreciate you guys tweeting at us because, and I wonder if people wonder why we're always writing people back at 5 o'clock in the morning. Like,
You know,
tweeting back.
and I think I love how our social media, like from 5 in the morning to like 1:30 in the afternoons when we respond, and then after that we pretty much don't. I always feel so bad when someone tweets us after that. I'm like, I didn't see it till the next day.
Right, but if you do tweet us at 6:15 in the morning, we will see it and respond to it.
To be fair, if I'm at my desk on social media till about 1:15 each day. So I can respond then. After that, I do have it linked to my phone, but just know I am ignoring you.
No, I don't have the Twitter set up to feed me notifications because between my own personal Twitter and the
Oh, dude,
podcast's Twitter, like it's
between
too much.
mine,
Right, and then the radio station.
So the other day, mine, our radio station, and our podcast, I got retweeted by Mark Cuban. Plug. That's the second time we're best friends. So and you know, when someone big like that retweets you, you get a bunch of followers, retweets, stuff like that. So my personal Twitter was blowing up with that going on. We were talking to somebody, or we were taking mailbag questions, or something like that, and then our ape Twitter was also we had an interview with Fifth Harmony. If you don't know who it is, it's some girl teen pop band thing. Not important. But
important enough for you to post pictures of it, though.
Well, an interview, a 5-minute interview, and that was going off on that. So my phone, in an hour, ran out of battery, and I had been up for 3 hours.
Just because of Twitter.
Just because of Twitter. So and on top of that, we were doing a contest on Instagram where people were doing that. So I had those notifications. It was bad. I had to turn my phone off because it was heating up. It was getting weird. And then I was like, you know what? This is what celebrities feel like. This is what
So let's do some news. All right.
There we go.
Well, we can cut the Periscope now.
Oh, cool.
Let's go interview this guy. I'm excited. I'm super excited.
Yeah.